While you're watching 60 Minutes, chances are children all over the country are glued to different screens playing video games. At least it keeps them quiet, right? And there's one game that's currently all the rage, especially with boys. It's called Fortnite, and it has 125 million players around the world hooked. And therein lies the problem. It and games like it are so good, there's such a sensory smorgasbord of action and colour, our children are becoming addicted. They're playing for days on end to the exclusion of everything else, even school, friends and family. Try to stop them and you're guaranteed a meltdown. No wonder then the World Health Organization now classifies video gaming disorder as a disease. It's late on a Tuesday night, but it could be any night of the week. Long after everyone else is asleep, 14-year-old Logan is awake and will be for hours yet, fighting for supremacy in the online battlegrounds of Fortnite. By day, Logan can be found in the same spot, playing the same game over and over again.
If it was my choice, I'd probably be playing about 14 hours if it was my choice.
Like 125 million other gamers around the world right now, his game of choice is most often Fortnite's Battle Royale. This extraordinary phenomenon is a contest for survival. 100 players up against each other until there is just one standing. There's no blood, but plenty of weapons to collect and much strategy required for ultimate success.
Yep.
Logan, it's
Yep.
Tara. I hope this is not a girl-free zone, is it?
No, it's fine.
To understand Logan, you have to step into his world. A world where you never get his full attention. So how good are you at talking and playing at the same time?
Not very good.
Fortnite and similar video games have been Logan's sole obsession for the past 2 years, at the expense of almost everything else. Do you feel like you're addicted to gaming?
Not really, no. I don't feel like I'm addicted at all.
Do you know what the definition of addiction is?
No, not really.
Well, I guess what I'm asking you is, do you really think you have control over these games and how much you play?
I do have control. I just choose to stay on it this long.
When did you last read a book?
A long time ago.
When did you last play sport?
A while ago.
When did you last hang out with your mates?
A decent while ago.
A while ago. Logan's desperate mum, Britta Hodge, believes her son is a video game addict, for which he wears a terrible cost.
Withdrawn, angry, depressed, anxious, completely different. I keep on saying to him, I miss my boy. I miss the boy that I used to have. It's not the boy I know. I mean, he'd be the one that would be the first to hook up his fishing rod and go camping or soccer. Now, no. Can't get him outside.
Do you mean that quite literally?
Yeah, very much so.
You move fast. Like Logan, 13-year-old Sam is trapped in a fantasy realm of high-octane and violent games. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm dead.
Oh, that's a lot of blood.
Yeah, you can shoot her in the head as many times as you want and she can still not die.
It's an alien world that terrifies Sam's parents, Joanne and Brendan. Why do you think this world is so appealing to Sam?
I guess because you don't have to deal with the real world. You don't have to deal with chores. You don't have to deal with, sports. And you can sit there for hours and hours and hours and talk to people and they're not going to judge you. Some of the things that I've heard him say online, it's so aggressive. Like, they talk about slitting each other's throats.
Gaming addiction is real and is so widespread. 3 months ago, the World Health Organization declared it a disease.
Hello, mate.
And more overwhelmed parents are turning to psychiatrists like Dr. Tanveer Ahmed to help their kids kick the gaming habit.
Well, I kind of miss having like friends to go out with and all that, but I got friends online.
Look, it's a modern tragedy. Because now stimulus people are able to get in the modern video game, including the social stimulus, they can have so many needs met, and the sensory hold the modern video game can have on the developing brain, who can't make those reasonable judgments that as an adult most of us can. That's the real challenge, and that's the parenting challenge. That is, I think, different to other novelties in the past, be it television or fatty food or those sort of things.
Getting annoying.
Logan is considered more susceptible than many. He first turned to this parallel universe to cope with the breakdown of his parents' marriage. And as someone who suffers severe anxiety, he finds it a safer, more soothing place.
That's why I probably started gaming, because when I was depressed and all that, I started playing games, and it just made me feel happy again.
And what makes you unhappy?
Everything really. Like, I'm just not happy in general.
And do you think that's a part of it too, that when you're playing games you don't have to think?
Probably. Like, when I play games, I don't really have to think about anything at all. I just play my game.
If he's feeling anxious and stressed in the bigger world, what does the gaming world give him, in your opinion?
In Logan's eyes, it gives him a space to be him. It's nobody can see him, nobody knows who he is, and he can be a character.
But Logan's escape has turned into an isolating and enduring obsession which is tearing his family apart. The obvious solution, banning video games, is not as easy as it sounds, according to Britta and her new partner, Les. What happens if you say, no, you can't do this?
It's not as simple as taking the cord away and going, oh, well, bad luck, you haven't got the internet, because the repercussions from that, angry, aggressive, we've had to call the police before. I have been headbutted, I've had concussion, I've been bitten, black and blue, all up and down my arms. I can't hold him back now. He's my height, so I can't physically restrain him.
Sounds like you're frightened of him.
I can be. If he is in that moment, then I can be, yes.
It's unthinkable, but his fixation is so complete, Logan has refused to go to school for the last 2 years.
You're already dressed, good boy.
While his 2 younger brothers are up and ready each morning, Logan stays locked inside his room, often ignoring all attempts at communication.
I'm about to go and take the boys to school. I thought he was feeling sick because he was saying, Mum, I've got a headache, I feel sick, I want to vomit. He runs to the toilet, and I was thinking he had the flu, so then in 1 week would be off from school, and it was gradual, and then it just built up. Can't get him out of the house. I thought he had the flu, but it was that he was up gaming.
There's no reasoning with these kids, sadly. You'd like there to be. They just don't respond to what other kids do who perhaps don't have these challenges in this world.
So you're saying that taking away the gaming opportunity is not an option for your son?
I'd like to see it, but I don't want him to come off it completely. I still don't mind him playing a game online. I just want him to have it balanced.
But if he's an addict, maybe that's not an option for him.
True, maybe I just need to make him go cold turkey.
The prospect of that?
Scary.
We've heard about what happens when you try to go to school and you shove and push and so forth, but here when you're told stop, what's your behaviour like?
I just don't get off sometimes and just refuse to.
And that makes Mum angry?
Yes.
Yeah. And how does
And
that...
upset.
Yeah, and upset. And how does that make you feel?
I feel upset as well, because I'm not trying to make her upset. But I just didn't see the need for me to get off.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe...
Joanne and Brendan are also struggling with their son Sam's video gaming. When Joanne was diagnosed with breast cancer last year, 13-year-old Sam retreated to video games and is now too missing vital school time.
This year he's had four full school weeks this year. He's had 50 days off.
So he's gone to school for 4 weeks this year.
4 full weeks.
4 full weeks.
But not in a row.
No.
Not in a row.
No. He does the I'm sick, I can't be bothered.
Sam's bad behaviour has escalated. He's been suspended from school and has been caught stealing from his family to pay for gaming credits.
In the space of 6 or 8 weeks, I think he'd managed to clock up over $350.
So what sort of consequences did he suffer for stealing your card and spending that much money?
Well, it caused a lot of problems between Brendan and I because I kind of tried to protect him and I probably shouldn't have as much.
And protects him from me.
And just, kind of protect, because I knew that the console would have gone across the road and into the creek. And
But shouldn't it? I mean,
probably.
In hindsight, yes.
Anything that gives us pleasure and that we're attracted to, gives us a sensory stimuli that's positive, is potentially addictive. And if that starts taking over our life, causing a negative impact on these fundamental things like having friendships and relationships, if it's impacting that and we're still going to the video game, I think we can call it an addiction.
much like poker machines for adults, video games are designed to get us in. This enthralling, rapid-fire world is challenging, rewarding, and a lot of fun.
It's all in a night's work. And I just got killed again.
Well, is that because you're talking to me?
Yeah.
But for kids like 13-year-old Sam and 14-year-old Logan, both smart and sensitive, there is no easy way out, even when they want to escape it.
I don't want to be one of them kids that drop out and play your game and stuff like that. I want to actually get somewhere in life.
Sounds like right now you don't feel like that's in your control.
Mm.
Why does it upset you?
I don't know.
Sam has missed most of this school year, and Logan hasn't been to school for 2 years. What do you need to get through those school gates?
I don't know. I've been trying to work that out for a while now. I can't really ever figure out why I can't go. Like, I would go, but I don't know why I can't though. I just can't. You know?
In psychological terms, this is an emergency. And school refusal, people who can't go to school, that's an emergency in our society, because that's where we learn about the social world.
The populations of these South...
It's easy to judge Logan and his family, but Dr. Tanveer Ahmed says for whatever reason, going to school is literally terrifying for this boy.
On a school bus, the ratio...
I think for us, the equivalent might be that if we're going into a room where there is something life-threatening, your heart might race, you might start hyperventilating, you'd get all this adrenaline telling you that there is something really scary out there and do not go there. These are the signals we'd get. You know, they're very biological. That's what he's getting just about attending school.
For Logan and kids like him, it's much more comfortable to exist in video games. And at this Sydney gaming parlour, you can see how many are drawn to them. Those playing are plugged in and tuned out to everything and everyone else. So how many hours are you playing these sorts of games on whatever device?
Probably around 6 hours a day.
6 hours a day?
Yeah.
So Joe, how old were you when you started gaming?
About 3 years old.
You were about 3 years old?
Yes, I was. My dad was a very big gamer and he just kind of got me into it at a young age and I've been addicted ever since.
Education coach Jill Sweetman warns the impact of excessive gaming is dire and long-term.
It's not just a game. This game is a platform, it's a tool, it's an element that has been so magnificently and exquisitely crafted to engage these children and adults more and more and more. And that's where it's insidious.
And neuroscience provides the proof. As gaming becomes their sole focus, children's brains are irrevocably shaped and changed.
I think the best way to describe it is to talk about what's called apoptosis, which is really planned brain death. And that occurs from the time the child is almost born. It's already getting rid of brain cells that are not being used. And what worries me most is that if so much time is devoted to just entertainment, under the auspices, the control of game designers, over a long period of time, what are we really losing? And those brain cells can't be gotten back in later life.
Back in his den, it's no surprise really, but killing off brain cells is not something that scares Logan.
Do you worry what effect all these hours in these games might be doing to you?
Not really, I'm not really worried at all. Because I don't really see that there's a problem with it. Like, sure, that I've spent all my time and don't go to school and that could get my parents in trouble. But it doesn't really, it doesn't really make me be like, oh, I should stop, I just keep playing. Just don't think about it.
How much do you worry about not being able to get off them, ever?
I worry about myself and my health, and I worry at the fact that I might never see my family again. Like, I've just been drawn into the video game world and I can't get out of it.
It must be very frightening.
Mm.
So you just don't feel like you've got the strength just to turn it off and walk away from it?
No, I can't.
You can't? You really feel you've tried to do that?
Yeah.
It was very hard to ask a young child in their primary school years to be the police, to be the monitor of their own fun. And in the home environment, if there are guidelines, if there are rules, but there are no real-life consequences, the child works out very quickly what they can get away with.
In this device-driven age where being tech-savvy is considered not just an expectation, but a necessity, banning screens and the gaming they allow must seem impossible. For some, even setting boundaries is too hard to try.
And that is the really obvious question here, isn't it? I mean, you've identified the problem.
Yeah.
Why not take it away? Take all the devices away. Stop the gaming. Why not?
It's not worth the abuse to us. It turns into an absolute screaming match and I don't want the neighbours subjected to it.
It's not only us that cop it, it's
the
other
kids.
siblings. They'll cop it.
I see the logic in taking it off him. Don't get me wrong, we have thought about it. Brendan is very much take it off him. And as soon as Brendan goes to work, I give back. Because I don't honestly have the strength to be able to listen and hear the name calling and the
nagging.
Yeah.
Joanne, Brendan and Sam are not alone. Parents are turning to boot camps and treatment clinics for problem gamers, especially overseas where more options are available. While internationally, excessive gaming is considered a disease, in Australia it's not yet recognised as an addiction, making it harder to find help. So Les and Britta have set up a Facebook page to connect with other families going through the same pain.
There's a lot of children in the same situation or worse than Logan.
How can they be worse?
Older and also younger.
One mother has to leave the plate of food for the child at the door. She's not allowed into his room at all. Others talk about violence. I mean, Logan's had some challenges, but pales into comparison compared to what some parents are sharing with us in this Facebook group. It is quite scary. That one there is the times we've agreed to, from 4 p.m. to 9:30.
Okay.
All right, okay, and then outside of other times, it's not available.
At home, Les and Britta are trying.
But it's also to give you a reward as well. So when you
They're negotiating new limits with Logan.
Come and have a look, boys, down here.
And still insisting he get out of the house at least once a week.
Fresh water on it.
As resistant as he is to sunlight and the outdoors.
Logan, come back.
I didn't really find it enjoyable
Why not?
because I was just bored doing nothing, just sitting around. Yeah, I just wanted to go home.
Playing this?
Yeah.
But a glimmer of hope came last week when Logan was accepted into a bridging school for children like him. It's designed to get him back into mainstream education, but will only work if he shows up.
You go up, Logan.
The child you've lost, as you've described, do you believe you'll find him again?
Hope. I hope I find him. He's in there. I'll never give up.
You can't.
Have a good morning, darling. See you soon. Bye.
Parenting has never been more challenging or more critical, for never before has so much been at stake. You'd go crazy, wouldn't you, if Mum and Dad said no to all your devices for a little while?
Yeah, I would.
But deep down, is that what you want them to do?
Yeah.
You know they'll see this. They might actually do it.
Yeah.
Then do you truly welcome that?
I feel like I miss the old me.
You miss the old you?
Yeah.
So how much would you like some help?
I would like help in trying to stop my gaming addiction and try and get away from gaming, but it's not as easy as what it sounds.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes, segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.